Thank you so much, Provost Curtis, President Ambrose. Some of you here that know me well know that I'm a pretty avid sports spectator. And just recently I was driving home listening to my Sirius XM radio to the Masters broadcast, which is a different experience listening to golf on the radio. But there was a commercial and the tagline was, the best stories end in thanks. And I'm going to adopt that and say that the best stories also begin in thanks. There's a lot of people here today that I'd like to acknowledge, so I hope that you all bear with me. First of all, I'd like to thank William H. Byler for having the vision to establish this award. I think it's really important for a university like ours to have, in the fall, we have the Governor's Teaching Award, and then in the spring, the Byler Award. And for just to recognize outstanding faculty, I think that means a lot. So I'm grateful that he did this. I wouldn't be here right now if my chair, Dr. Koehn, didn't think to nominate me for this award, so thank you so much for that. I thank the Faculty Senate Awards Committee, chaired this year by Dr. Julie Hinches. I've been on that committee, and I know that there's a lot of support material to wade through, and then you have to somewhat oftentimes reach an excruciating decision to decide among really qualified people who to bless with the award in any given year. So I thank them for that work. I want to acknowledge here the past winners of the award. These are some of my favorite people that I've met here at Central, and it means a lot that they would come out to this reception today, and it's great to see them here. To the other folks that were nominated this year, Dr. Scott Strohmeyer, who's been a good buddy of mine through the years on campus, Dr. Donna Butterfield, Dr. Brian Hughes, and Dr. Gregory Strike. I feel honored to be here today and being honored in this reception with you. I have two late mentors that I would like to acknowledge. Just last month we lost Dr. Kenneth Stone, and several years ago Dr. David Joy, and they were really responsible for my coming to Central. I was a PhD student presenting at the Midwest AAA conference in Omaha, and as fate would have it, I got assigned to present my paper in the same section that they were presenting a paper, and somehow they overheard that I wanted to locate to the Kansas City area, and they were right on that. After that, pretty soon I was here at campus interviewing, and that's really why I'm here, and they helped me immeasurably in the early parts of my career. And I have to say both of them had a terrific passion for our discipline. I know, passion in accounting, some of you might have trouble with that, but it's so great. We all do different things. I was asked to peer evaluate Ashley Miller's dance class, which was quite an experience for me. I have two left feet, so it's good we all have, different talents. I have other mentors. My dissertation chair at the University of Wisconsin, John Wild. He has allowed me to participate with him through the years on contributing greatly to his textbooks that he authors, like getting to write some of the end of the chapter problems, and that's been a good opportunity for me. And a lot of you in the room know Dr. Jack Elfrink, who's currently at Western Illinois, and he was my first chair, and he made a big impression on me. In addition to Dr. Koehn, who wrote a really nice letter of nomination, I'd like to acknowledge the four other people that provided support for my nomination package. One of my colleagues here, Professor Don Anderson. Also, I had my dean, Dr. Roger Best. Thank you. I had Vice Provost Kim Andrews in the orange jacket. And one of my former students, Michael Iskey, who's an alum now, wrote a letter. He's working on the plaza at RSM. So I hope I can somehow live up to all the things they said about me. I hope they're true. They're really wonderful letters of support. We've all heard the adage, it takes a village to raise a child. I mean, I think it takes a campus to grow an academic's career. So there are other people across campus I'd like to thank, particularly my departmental team that seems like they're all grouped right here. I think it says a lot about our department that almost everybody's here. Janice Klemick, Paul Goodchild, Don Anderson, Denny Oss, Sarah Bailey. I don't see is Ryan here. Ryan Peterson, Stephen Popejoy, and Darla Hahn. So we have been through a lot of challenges together. And the thing about your home on campus, they see the best of you, but they also see the worst of you. So thank you for your patience for those times. This campus has allowed me to meet 4 of my closest personal friends, and Julie Stevens, I think she had to leave. They had a reception for modern language, I think. But I've met her on campus. Dr. Carol Banton is here. Dr. Frida Harrington, I think she drove all the way from Overland Park to be here today, so I thank her for that. And Dr. Wendy Geiger. So these are special personal friendships of mine, and we never would have met without UCM. Wendy and I, every Friday, we try to meet up at the rec, and we walk laps around the track together. And I confess that usually half of the laps we spend talking about the Royals and how they're doing. We're both big fans. But many of the laps we have taken, we've talked about our classroom experiences and what's working, what's not working, and I think we've championed each other in the classroom, and that's been special to me, Wendy. Thank you. I thank Donna Mayhew. I don't know if Donna's still here. She's so sweet. After we knew this reception was going to happen, she called me up and says, "What kind of food do you want at the reception?" So I have a sweet tooth, so we have cookies, and I know my sister has more of a savory taste, so I order the Chex Mix for her, and like that too. As President Ambrose mentioned, some of my family is here today. My mom, Joyce Koehn, and my father couldn't be here. He's not well enough to travel, but my mom, one of her favorite sayings is, "Education is a noble profession," and I think we'd all agree with that. And somehow everybody in my family seems to be connected with education, so I think there's Dr. Ambrose just mentioned it when he was talking to me before, there's sort of a teaching DNA, so definitely my family has that, so I thank my mom for that. And obviously, of course, she's been my longest supporter of all time, so I'm glad she could be here today. My partner, Pam Maven, is here. She supported me for 33 years, most notably through my PhD program. I had a really rough first year in my PhD program. It was a little bit overwhelming, and I think the Q word came up at times. I felt like quitting, and she just made sure that didn't happen. So she's really been instrumental in my career and in all of my life, and supports me in everything, so thank you, Pam. Two of my sisters aren't able to be here today, Jenny and Daryl. They're both off in their educational settings today. One's in Illinois and one's in Arizona. But one of my younger sisters, Susan, is here, and she is an art educator, and I've always admired the way she innovates her art lessons is just amazing, and the artistic values that she's been able to hold and keep. So I admire her for that, and I think all of us, hopefully, when we were younger, engaged in creative play. And my favorite form of play, we had these oversized domino blocks, which I kind of made into desks. And if you remember the era of paper dolls, I would, set up my whole classroom, with these paper dolls and these desks. So teaching was my form of play, and I think I coerced Susan into playing along, and I'm not sure she was also so wild about that. So thank you for being here today, Susan. And I'd be really remiss if I didn't thank the hundreds of students that I've had in the last 21 years here at Central, because that's what we're about, student success, and I'm sure that in many ways they've taught me way more than I've taught them, and I just cherish the memories of them. And even though social media, I think we all think it has its downfalls, it certainly has its pluses, because through things like Facebook, I'm able to keep connected with students, and I really appreciate that, and I think all of us have that chance that we didn't used to have. So a lot of you here I've been on committees with, and you've challenged me to do good work, and I've enjoyed that very much. I'm sure I've forgotten somebody, and I apologize for that. This has maybe been more long-winded than it was supposed to be, but thank you for coming out. My 21 years at Central have just been fantastic, and it means a lot to me. This is truly one of the best days of my life.